Physics is one of the broadest, most complex and interesting fields of science. It can be divided into different areas, each focusing on a different aspect of nature. Classical mechanics is one of the oldest branches of physics. It deals with how objects move and what makes them move. The laws of motion, first described by Isaac Newton, belong to this field. These laws help us understand force, speed, acceleration, and gravity. For instance, what happens to a ball when you throw it or drop it? It is also critical to such fields as engineering and astronomy. Thermodynamics is a study of heat, temperature, and energy. It explains how energy moves from one object to another and how it changes forms. For example, from heat to motion, or from motion to electricity. This field has four main laws which tell us how energy behaves. These laws are used in things like engines, refrigerators, power plants, and even govern how our bodies stay warm. Thermodynamics is also very important in understanding the universe, especially stars, black holes, and the Big Bang. One important idea in thermodynamics is that energy is never lost. It can only change form. This is called the law of conservation of energy. Another key idea is entropy, which explains why things naturally become more disordered over time, like how ice melts into water. Electromagnetism looks at electricity, magnetism, and how they are connected. It is concerned with how electric currents work, how magnets attract or repel, and how light travels. James Clerk Maxwell, born in the 19th century, was a scientist who showed that electricity and magnetism are interconnected. His work led to the idea that light is an electromagnetic wave. Electromagnetism is used in almost everything we use daily: phones, computers, lights, and TVs. It also helps explain how power stations send electricity to our homes and how antennas send signals through the air. Optics is a study of light, how it moves, bends, reflects, and passes through things. Optics is a very useful field in medicine, communication, and photography. It explains how we see, how glasses and microscopes work, and even how rainbows form. Scientists who study optics also work on lasers, cameras, and fiber optics, which send internet signals using light. Acoustics is a study of sound, how it's made, how it moves, and how we hear it. It helps explain how musical instruments work, why some buildings have good or bad sound quality, and how we can stop noise in certain places. Acoustics is used in music, medicine, building design, and even in studying animals like bats and dolphins who use sounds to see their surroundings. Modern physics includes many of the areas that could not be explained by classical physics. This field includes relativity, which explains how space and time are linked, especially when objects move very fast or are very heavy, like stars or black holes. It also includes quantum mechanics, the study of very tiny particles like electrons and photons. These tiny things don't follow the normal rules of physics and can behave in strange ways, like being in two places at once. Without modern physics, many of today's inventions and discoveries would not exist. Nuclear physics looks at the center of atoms, the nucleus. It studies how protons and neutrons behave and how energy is released in nuclear reactions. Nuclear physics helps explain how stars burn and how elements are made in space. In nuclear reactions, a small amount of matter can turn into a large amount of energy. This is the idea behind both atomic bombs and nuclear power. Particle physics is about the tiniest pieces of matter that exist. Scientists in this field discovered that protons and neutrons are made up of even smaller particles called quarks. Particle physics tries to find out what the universe is truly made of or how it all began. Astrophysics is a study of how the laws of physics work in space. It combines physics with astronomy to understand stars, planets, galaxies, black holes, and the universe itself. It helps explain how stars are born, how they die, how galaxies move, and how the universe began. Astrophysicists use telescopes, satellites, and computer models to study space. Some of the questions they ask include, what is dark matter? What is dark energy? And is there life elsewhere in the universe? They also study cosmic events like supernovas, pulsars, and gravitational waves. Plasma physics studies plasma, which is a special state of matter. Most people know about solids, liquids, and gases, but plasma is like a gas where atoms are broken into charged particles. Plasma makes up stars, including the sun, and is used in nuclear fusion research. Biophysics applies principles of physics to biology. It uses the tools and ideas from physics to understand how living things work. Biophysicists study how muscles move, how cells use energy, how DNA behaves, and even how the brain sends signals. This field helps improve medicine, understand diseases, and develop new treatments. Biophysics also helps design medical machines like heart monitors and imaging tools. The various fields of physics work together to explain the natural world and build the technology we use every day. There will always be more ideas to explore and more questions to answer, which is why physics is one of the most complex and fascinating fields. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for more videos.